Welcome to The Terrible Take, a mini podcast telling Steelers Nation what's on our mind. I'm Dave Bryan. As of the time of this take, the Pittsburgh Steelers are currently $6.1 million under the NFL salary cap number of $182.5 million. That number also doesn't take into account the recent re-signing of wide receiver Ray McLeod or the forthcoming exclusive rights free agent tender for inside linebacker Robert Spillane. Both of those contracts, however, won't use up too much available salary cap space just the same. With the league-wide cap number being released on Wednesday and with analysts and fans starting to come to grips with where the Steelers are currently in relation to it, there appears to be a growing narrative that the team hasn't managed their cap situation well over the years. As a huge salary cap nerd and one who has tracked the team situation and league-wide landscape as well for years, that narrative is so very wrong. For starters, the COVID-19 pandemic obviously wasn't expected, and the fallout it caused really impacted teams such as the Steelers and a few others very hard. Face it, the cap went down roughly $15 million this year. Had there not been a pandemic issue, the 2021 league-wide cap number would have jumped at least $10 million from the 2020 number of $198.2 million, if not more. That's a $25 million swing. For a team such as the Steelers that likes to spend up to cash and cap ceilings on a yearly basis, not having an expected $25 million in salary cap space to work with is crushing. As for the naysayers that like to criticize the Steelers for quote-unquote also kicking the can down the road, they really don't understand the sins and pangs that come along with having a franchise quarterback. They also don't understand that the Steelers have no problem re-signing their own star players and for fair market value as well to retain them. They also do so without providing ungodly guarantees, and let me tell you, they are an NFL unicorn now when it comes to that. The proverbial can kicking is a result of the Steelers attempting to field the best team they possibly can year in and year out. Have the Steelers handed out bad contracts over the years, and the last 5 specifically? Absolutely they have. Who will soon forget the free agent contract that tied in Ladarius Green signed? It happens, but it happens a lot less in Pittsburgh, I promise you. As for the situation with Antonio Brown and all the dead money he produced a few years ago, his going off the rails the way that he did wasn't predictable at all. Don't blame that on the Steelers. In closing, the Steelers do not have a cap management problem. They spend and kick every year in an attempt to field a team they think can compete for a Super Bowl. Sadly, that process hasn't paid off since 2008, but that length of time since the Steelers last won the Super Bowl wasn't a byproduct of poor salary cap management. If they don't win the Super Bowl in 2021, it also won't be a result of how they managed the cap in a year that included them having $25 million less in space to work with. Be sure to follow us at SteelersDepot.com and check out episodes of The Terrible Take every weekday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And check out The Terrible Podcast with myself and Alex Kozora every Tuesday and Friday.